The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, The Money Masters.
Let's go to Shiven in Boston. Shiven, what's happening, brother?
I'm watching you both on Tiger TV.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, definitely it is. Learning a lot from Tiger.
Now, your Money Masters, Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome, folks. Half of the Money Masters are here. The other half is on his way up to Boston. Hopefully, some of you folks up in that area, or all of you folks up in that area that are listening, are going to get a chance to see him, where he's going to be talking about the Tiger Real Estate Fund, folks. And if you haven't had the opportunity to download the white paper that Tom did, do yourself a favor and do that. Go over to the homepage of TFNN.com and download the bull market in Florida housing. All kinds of other information in there that is beyond just simply the Florida marketplace. But you want to make sure that you do that. A lot of work in there, a lot of useful information that you'll be able to use not only in your trading but decision-making process. And if you're interested in the Tiger Fund, just go to the homepage of TFNN.com or click on the link that is inside the white paper, the special report out there, or just simply send an email to Kathleen at TFNN.com, and she'll get you all the information that you need out there, as long as you are also on the homepage of TFNN.com, expiring on Sunday. So the last weekend is our really fantastic, incredible, unbelievable, extraordinary Tiger Dollar promotion out here. You've got really three opportunities to turn your money into more of a more than it actually is worth. Of course, well, after Uncle Ben, maybe it's even going to be worth less here. But the bottom line is you can turn $500 into $600, $800 into $1,200 or $1,000, and $1,150 into $1,500. That's the big enchilada. That's where you get a 30% bonus on your money out there. All of the Tiger dollars, folks, totally transferable, and that's what you want to be able to do. So whether, and as I say, we're not that far away, believe it or not, from the holiday season out here. So if you're thinking about what kind of gifts to get for the ones that you actually love in your life, hopefully that's everybody, but whether it be kids, grandkids, and you want to get them involved and interested in learning the market, it would be a great investment in them. So check that out as well. We've got the markets here. You've got the relatively flat market. The Dow up 14 points. The S&P snoozing up 83 cents right now. Composite moving up $6, mostly because you got Apple trading up $8. The Russell 2000 basically flat. I expect the markets, to just kind of maybe the needle just to tick just a little bit on either side until we see what the FOMC, the Federal Reserve here, has in store for us, and to see how good, bad, or indifferent that's going to be out there. And also, so folks, if we, and I absolutely do love doing these shows, so when I get the opportunity to do 2 hours in a row, it's a very cool thing out there. Would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. We can always take a look at your stock and equity out there. Before I go into the markets, what each of us have is just simply a remarkable ability to get exactly what we must have. I'm going to give you just a couple sentences. These are some things that, if it were me, I'd write them down, because I actually have written them down. That's why it's easy for me to be able to share these with you. But what you really want to understand is that you're remarkable. I talk about this often, and each of us are so remarkable. That is the cool thing. But what's really remarkable about is our ability. And our ability is to get exactly what we must have. So if you were going to underline one word there, the focus would be on must. Because what you'll find is that there's a huge difference between must and want. I will bet that each of us that have things that we want in life. But here's the key. When you change your must, your wants when you change your wants to musts, that's when, folks, that's when you attract it in your life. That's when you put all your energy. So you want to be able to change your wants. You want to be able to change your shoulds. You never want to be spending too much time on the shoulder, just as much time as you need to. You want to get rid of the shoulds in your life. You certainly want to get rid of the coulds in your life, and you want to turn all of those into musts. I would just simply write down these two sentences, folks. The way you do anything is absolutely the way you do everything. The way you do anything, folks, is the way you do everything. And the past does not equal the future unless you wanted to. So let's go take a look at these markets. Let's go see what we've got going on out here. You've got, say, the Dow up 15 points. Let's take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping, actually. If we take a look at, we were doing this during the close of the last hour. We were taking a look at Genesee and Wyoming. GWR is the ticker symbol. Yesterday making all-time highs. Let's put this thing on a weekly and a monthly chart out here. So it gets up to a price point here. Yesterday gets up to a high of 67.95. Now, what's important about this is the daily stock chart here and what appears to be unfolding today. Day is not over, but what it has done at a high. And you don't find this. You do see it, but you don't find it that often. So when you do see it, it's a real treasure that's out there. So we are going to keep our eye and see how this pattern here plays out. First, to see if, as it closes today, if it in fact confirms this island reversal up at the top. And so if we take a look at that, folks, you're taking a look what an island reversal is the following. If you take a look at it's a 3-candle session here, and you're taking a look at September 11th. So on September 11th, this equity gets up to a high of $66.68. The next day it gaps up. But it's not so much that it gaps up, it's that the low never touches the high of that preceding session. Actually gets down to 66.70. That 2 pennies is that's a gap out there, and that's an important gap. What does the equity do today? It actually gaps down. Opens up at 65.08, gets up to a high of 65.10. The low so far intraday 63.62. That has created an island reversal. An island reversal at highs, folks. There aren't too many more bearish candle patterns that you can find out there. This one is the doozy of doozies, so I would put that on your list. Now, this thing has got some good support out here. You know, you can see it's got support on August 2nd. You had a decent volume day out there, so that's at the 63.78. So I suspect this thing will fight itself on the way down. It's even coming back into level here of on September 6th as the market had moved up. So did this equity GWR, but I will tell you, pay attention to that island reversal on both sides, right? How about if you say, oh, Steve, why pay attention to that? Well, I don't know. Why don't we just go look at the Qs here before we go to our callers who've been kind enough to call. Let's go take a look at the ETF on the Qs out here. So let's pull that up. Let's see if we see an island reversal to the that occurred on the downside. Of course, you know the answer is yes, but let's go take a look at it. And here's take a look at this 3-day session here. This was an island reversal where you had 3 sessions that created the island. And what we're talking about is we're coming back to the May 31st low here, 61.59. The Qs gap down the next day. The high on June 1st is 61.32. You can see the next trading session on June 4th. It still hangs out in that area. June 5th, the same thing. So it creates this little island. And what does it do on the next trading session, June 6th? It gaps up. You created an island here. So here's an island reversal on the downside, and obviously that island reversal, folks, gave us really all the signals that, in fact, the Qs wanted to move up. So that's on the islands out there. Let's go to the island of Boston, and let's go talk to Ilka. Ilka, how are you? Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I am doing excellent. Thank you for calling.
You are always excellent. This is nice. Wonderful.
Hey, what? Well,
you can hear it in your voice.
We have choices in life, right?
I agree. I say that to my son every morning.
Oh, good. You know, I got a great text from one of my daughters that's up at college, and she had her breakfast, and she had this book that I had given her, and she told me that she was starting her day off with a inspired life. And
what is the book's title?
I forget which book it is. I'll send you an email on it.
Yeah, do please.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love inspiring things, especially for the young people.
It was, and I got that at, I don't know, about 7 o'clock. It was nice to see her up early. I guess she's got an early class this morning. But what a great text it was.
So I guess I need to send my son your way.
Send him down. Bring him, send him down to Clearwater.
Yeah.
And in fact, when he's coming down, I guess he's got to come down with a pizza for Tom.
What do you mean pizza for Tom? I won.
I know. Well, you get lobster. He gets pizza.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. You want to take a look at Smith & Wesson?
Before I do that,
Yeah.
because I actually called for a different reason, and then I was directed to do something else.
Sure.
But actually, on your website, actually, I was trying to look for a little bit more details regarding Tom's visit in Boston. I couldn't find information. Can you guide me where I can do that?
The easiest thing would be if you would just send a quick email to Kathleen at tfnn.com. What she can do is...
There is nothing, right? There is nothing there, because I tried to look and I was like, I don't see it, because I didn't know if it would be something of at what time and everything. Okay.
Yeah. Send a quick email to Kathleen, because I don't have the details on there. I'm going to put the site up here real quickly. Just if you couldn't find it, though, then I don't know that the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund. So, if you're watching on Tiger TV, folks, over on the right-hand side, the very right-hand side where you see a number of banners. The first one is Nadex, Thinkorswim, and Tiger Real Estate. So you can click on that in order to learn more. Also, there's a link inside the white paper, the bull market in Florida housing, and then Kathleen at tfnn.com, or even call the office and speak directly to Kathleen.
I will.
You're welcome to do that as well.
Okay, so let's look at my my stock.
Yeah.
And, I don't know about... I know you think there will be a negative reaction, so I don't know about that. I have a feeling...
well, now, I guess
to the upper side.
Yeah, so when I say negative reaction, just so I make sure, because I want to understand how people interpret what it is that I say, because sometimes maybe what I'm thinking is not exactly what's coming out. So the negative reaction that I'm looking for isn't a long-term negative reaction.
Oh, I actually do think that we will go higher, and then that's when we start turning down a little bit. So you're saying pretty much the same as I am. Yeah,
I'm saying I expect the reaction to be the initial reaction, perhaps to be negative out there and flush out, quite frankly, some long positions. And then I expect to see the market move higher. So that's why I just, No, so I'm just saying the opposite. I'm thinking that they'll actually bring that up a little bit. Yeah. That certainly is one play. And I'm taking a look at some of the currency things that are out there. Take a look at what the silver and the gold traders are saying.
I listened to you. Exactly. I do see your side of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so...
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And so in this case here, what I like to do is actually just I prefer to just as you do, I'm sure, take a look at my opinions are more formed by what's the current chart saying. What are the current candles?
I love to follow it because I love learning from you that way. So it's really very helpful. You are really a wonderful teacher.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a second best thing I've heard today.
I use Fibonacci all the time, so in a little different way than you do, but I'm trying to incorporate what you are teaching, and
that's great.
Let's see how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you wanted to take a look at Smith & Wesson. So how are you taking a look at playing this? Because I know that our listeners want to know how Ilka's playing Smith & Wesson.
Well, no, I'm already long.
Okay, good for you.
And this stock is... when they actually brought it down, that was a wonderful opportunity to get in.
Okay.
But I didn't get in then. I got in closer to 8:20, 8:30.
Oh, that's
so I have
great.
I have a nice cushion.
That's great.
But I'm actually trying to.
Hey, Ilka, stay with us. We're going to break here right at the moment. We'll be back. We're going to Ilka, then we're going to go out to Colorado and talk to Bill, and we'll be right back, folks.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit tfnn.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kay Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Relatively flat market out there. Dow up 17 points right now. S&P not doing anything. Let's go back to Ilka from Boston. We're taking a look at Smith & Wesson. The ticker symbol out there, SHWC. It's had a couple real nice signs of strength. Actually, it's had three gaps up recently. The first gap going back into the early March 9th, 10th, 12th. time frame here. The next gap here, sign of strength with some volume behind it, June 29th. And then the third one that we've had out here was the one from September the 7th. And you do have, it looks like, a confirmed A to B equals CD on the daily chart out here. Certainly that would take you up into the $12.40 range. So tell me what you're looking at and how I can help you, Ilka.
Well, I have the position that I have. It's in my retirement, so I'm actually looking for a little higher prices. But
yes.
I'm trying to get in as a trade again, and trying to see at what point would be, where should I wait? Where is my patience supposed to take me?
Well, you know what you'd like to, what I say, I do believe eventually all gaps get filled, but when you do have these open windows and these gaps, I actually also like to be able to trade them. But how I like to be able to trade them is when the market has come back and tested it to see if that is going to be a good support area. So the ideal from a trade setup would be that it would pull back to the $10.03 level. That happens to be the gap up from September the 7th. comes down to 10.02 or whatever it does, but still closes above 10.03 on less than 14 million shares, that's where I would go ahead and place the trade. And since it's a trading position, if you get a close then in a session or two that's below 10.03, I'd close that out and then probably come back in if it gets back to that September 6th level where it gapped up somewhere around the 9.14 level. And so that's where I would be, that's one of the areas where I'd be taking a look at. When you take a look at this equity, do you know what happened to this thing back in 2007 when it just really fell apart? Any idea what happened back then?
No, I'm just I'm a technician. I'm not a fundamentalist.
Yeah,
so.
And the reason, folks, is because this thing it was up in the $21 range, and in a period of a week or so, a couple of weeks, it got down to $5. So I don't know, and it was done with certainly volume. So that was a very quick markdown period.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
And so and there's traders that are still in this equity from back then. So the 1 to 1.272 A to B takes you up to 14.12. That also runs you right into where I would expect that turbulence sign will come on for those folks that are wanting to be able to get some of their money back. That goes back to November 2007. So look for some turbulence as this equity gets up to 13.89.
Yep, my 14. My goal was 14 actually, between 14
Perfect.
to 16, depending on how the Chapman wave will take me.
Great. Okay, yeah. So that's what you're looking at. Elka, always good to hear your voice. Thanks so much for calling and your kind comments.
Much. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate your time.
You bet. Let's go to Bill in Littleton, Colorado. Bill, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
I'm doing real good, and you? Sound like you're doing good.
I'm doing excellent. Now? You guys are just getting into really your most beautiful weather pattern out there, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's about 52 degrees this morning, about 6 o'clock, and we got kind of partly cloudy skies. Had a good rain yesterday, green things up again. So it's looking good out here.
Oh, that's great. Are you a native of Colorado? Did you move there?
Oh no, I've been a number of places around America, so for many years.
Well, where's your favorite spot then? If you can choose anywhere.
Right now, Colorado.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear that you're actually in your favorite spot. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You wanted to look at Hercules Offshore Inc. Tell me what you're doing, how I can help you.
Yeah. Got a position in it there, up about 5%. Looking to see if it'll break through.
Okay.
This your area here.
Well, what you've got, this thing had some volume off of the top on March 23rd, and that was giving you the signal that, the markdown had started. Now, the low of that area is 544, and you're at 447 right now. So it seems like, that's maybe an area where it's moving towards. It's had a nice, it's making nice higher lows and higher highs, so that's a good thing. And from a volume standpoint, that's the only place where you might see a supply line, at that 504 range. If we put this, let me put this back on a weekly and then a monthly here. So on the weekly chart, really showing the same thing out there, which is that candle from March 23rd, that volume bar from March 23rd. I wish this thing had volume at the highs for you, but it doesn't. So let's just take it as it is. On the daily chart, if we're going to take a look at, you know what? If Bill, can I ask you to stay through this next commercial break?
Sure.
Okay. We come back. We're going to take a look at Hero, Hero. Bill's my hero right now. That's Hercules Offshore Inc. We'll be right back, folks.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the Money Masters Show, folks. Tom away today. He's up in Boston and doing the program for the Tiger Fund. Folks, if you haven't had an opportunity to check out the Tiger Real Estate Fund, go to the homepage of TFNN.com. A couple places over on your right-hand side on the area where you see some banners, you'll see the Tiger Real Estate Fund. There's also a special report that Tom did with regard to bull housing, the bull market housing. Go check out that paper as well. And all the details are included inside there if you'd like to get involved with the Tiger Real Estate Fund. We're going back out to Littleton, Colorado, talking with Bill. We're taking a look at HERO is the ticker symbol. That is Hercules Offshore. And so while we were away at the break, one of the things that I did, Bill, is I went to the position size calculator. Have you had a chance to test that tool out?
No, I haven't tested the tool out yet.
Yeah.
So.
Go to if you go to the homepage of TFNN.com, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen here. Well, let me pull up the actual website here. if you go to tfnn.com, over on the left-hand side, you'll see an up arrow and a down arrow. And what I'd ask you to do, just because this will really be able to help you, is just click that down arrow until you get to something that says the power of position sizing. And inside there's a 30-minute video that I put together, and it will help to explain this position size calculator I'm going to show you here in just a moment. Now, what the position size calculator allows you to do is understand what just simply the average daily range is in the equity that you're trading. In the case of Hercules Offshore, you just simply type in the symbol that you want, HERO, hit the search button. And what it will do is just plug in what the average last 10 days is. In this case here, the average has been 17 cents over the last 10 days. Now, in this case here, because we had a holiday, it's really only looking at 9 days. But if you go all the way to the bottom, it tells you what the highest range has been, which has been 21 cents on a single day, and the lowest range being, looks like 13 cents out here. And so what that will be helpful is for you to establish maybe a trailing stop on this equity. And the reason why, I'm suggesting perhaps a trailing stop on this is because when we take a look at the patterns now, what this has done is this has done a 0.618 retracement as it moved up to the $4.55 level. So if you use any kind of stock charts, what you would do is you'd go from the swing point high, which is on March 21st, all the way down to the low that was put in on June 4th. And you'd take your little ruler and you'd want to measure the 0.382, 618, 786 areas. 455 is the exact number for your 618 retracement. This thing right now trading at 446 got up to a high yesterday of 456. How does it do that within a penny? But it did, and that's actually where you start to get concerned, because that is a normal retracement. Could be now there's no sell signal in here. I don't see a candle pattern or any reason to do anything other than just be money management cautious, which is saying, hey, you got a profit in there. You want to make sure you protect that profit. And now the question is, hey, where do you put the stop? I say put it outside at least the normal day's volatility, and I say use some type of Fibonacci expansion of that. Take that average daily range, multiply it times either 1.272 or 1.618. It does look to me like this wants to really complete a 0.786 retracement, which would take you up to 499. When you get up there, that's where you're going to run into that resistance area of that high volume bar that was at 504. So I think that if the equity does move higher for you, be really careful as it approaches that area. Again, still use some type of trailing stop unless you see some other candle pattern that might suggest otherwise. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm watching for right now.
Okay.
To see if it's going to hold this here. We're still setting higher lows on here, but they're getting narrower, so I feel it's going to break one way or the other. Yeah,
it is. And really, when it gets to the 618 retracement, it's like going on an elevator. It is supposed to let some people off. And so right now it is resting, but it has, as you say, it hasn't given you any kind of bearish sign whatsoever on the daily chart. And I say you just do the smart money management thing, and you just make sure that you adjust your stops, and that's really all that you can do. Okay.
Very good.
Hey, thanks for calling. You bet. Thanks for calling. Look forward to hearing from you again. Let's continue tooling around the marketplace here. Let's go take a look at some equities. You've got Sears holding back in the lead dollar-wise on the way down, only off $3, so not a big, huge deal out there. But let's go take a look at volume and price, see what it's actually doing. SHLD is the ticker symbol. So as you can see, not really a big deal so far. In fact, this thing had a nice little sign of strength recently. Maybe it did have a sign of strength. I'd open it up. It actually made a high volume low recently. That was on September 4th. That had 9.3 million shares. The high of that is 53.95. It's pulling back this morning. This thing has really been trading sideways here, coming back to the April 23rd time frame. So the sideways box trading range on this, the low really being in the 47.01 area. The highs, I would say, pretty much being in the $63 area. So what you'd like to see on this equity could be a nice trade for you. You've also got you've got really a sign of strength that's kind of inside that sideways box range. That goes back to February 22nd when it was trading. Low out there was 51.01, and it gapped up with 6 million shares. So a trade on Sears Holding would be, as it's pulling back here today, a trade would be this thing coming back into and testing September 4th. Ideally, test 51 meaning it gets to 51.29 at least, closes back up above 51.30 on less than 9.3 million shares, and then you'd have a trading range that you could play. That would be on Sears Holdings out there. Let's go take a look at popping. Let's go take a look at PAL Corp. PLL is the ticker symbol. Because leading the charge, you've got Equinix. We took a look at that. That's up $17, so it's trading off of its session highs out there. And an Apple is up $8. So let's go take a look at PLL. Is the ticker symbol, gapping up and with volume. So this thing has got some nice juice. It's taking on a swing point as we pull this back, or trying to take on the swing point highs. Look like all-time highs, and doing with some volume out here. So the volume, it's going against the, on a daily chart here, the swing point high is February the 15th. Has only 451,000 shares. The low of that is $63. It has gotten up so far today to a level of $63. So it's tagging that area. Now, 2 million shares today. So that 2 million shares says what as it comes into a swing point with volume? Yep, you got it exactly right. It says it's going to go at least test that swing point high. And the high there, 64.55, of course. If it tests 64.55 on lighter volume and closes back inside that area, what does that say? That says, just like when we were taking a look at Smith & Wesson with Ilka, you'd want to see this thing. Now it's got a wide gap here. You'd like to see it pull back and test the gap that was created today at 62.11, but that's a really wide gap. You know, the ideal buy on this thing would be to see it come back and test where it broke out, but that's all the way down to 57.50. Of course, it closed there yesterday. That doesn't mean that it won't close there again. Let's take a look at the weekly chart on this equity here. Again, PAL Corp is what we are looking at. So on the weekly basis here, volume so far, a couple million shares. That's really just today's, but the volume up there is only 2.9 million from February 17th. Now, you can see on the weekly chart, as this thing was making its high, you know, if you're looking for ways to find when a stock is going to be tired, it gave you that first signal here as it made a doji candle on February 17th. You know, and a doji candle on a weekly basis, more valuable as far as information than on a daily basis. That very next candle was a bearish engulfing. That was on the week of February 24th. That was telling you right there if you were long to be, to tighten up your stop, just like we were taking a look at with Bill out there. It was giving you signals that it was going to, the move to the upside was over. Let's go take a look at what expansions of swing points were telling us. In this case here, in this equity, we would be going from the 58.18 level, which was April the 1st out there, Fool's Day week, and that high all the way down to the low that was put in on October 7th. So now you take a look at, you've got a 1.272 expansion of that swing point. That exact number was 64, looks like 64.69. What it actually got up to was 64.55. So you have a 1.272 expansion on a weekly basis, a major set of swing points. That told you also that you were coming into an area where you would see it rest. Gives you the doji candle, gives you the bearish engulfing candle, and then it pulls back. Let's go see what this thing pulled back to here. This thing pulling back to the, now we're going to go from that same June 4th low, October 7th, the week of October 7th low. That was at 39.81 all the way up to that doji high out there. The 0.618 retracement would have taken it to 49.26. Where's the equity get down to? 49.97. Not too shabby out there. And as it, we talk about, or I speak to you about, how there are repetitive patterns that exist inside these charts. So what is this equity doing here as it's moving down? What do you see occur right here? Remember on the upside, what did it do? Made a doji and then made a bearish engulfing candle. What does this thing do on the downside as it gets close to that 618 level? On the weekly chart, July 20th, you get a doji candle out there. What do you do on the next one? You get a bullish engulfing candle. How do you like that, folks? So is that giving you signals that the downside move was over? You bet your sweet bippy. Who was it that said that? Was that Radner or... You bet your sweet bippy. Anyways, so now what it's doing, it's going and taking on its swing point highs, and it's doing it with volume on the weekly chart. So what does that set up on this equity? Actually sets up that if you get a close above the level of 64.55 with volume, this thing is setting up an A to B equals CD. So if we take a look at that, what is that going to potentially set up for this equity? That would set up a high of $74.72. Has not confirmed that yet, but all points are looking like that is what this thing here wants to do. That is on PAL. Let's go take a look at, so kind of switch here, take a look at things that are popping and things that are dropping. Since the market is basically relatively flat, with the exception of silver. You've got silver pulling back here this morning, and silver giving us a signal that the move to the upside may be over. It's down 27 cents out at 33.02, but there's a little nuance out there when you take a look at silver. Natural gas getting hit a little bit this morning here, down down 53 cents off 1.7%. But let's go back to some of these equities here. Let's go take a look at... Okay, let's take a look at one that's popping percentage-wise. CompuCredit Holdings, CCRT. So let's go see what that is doing here. Let's go see if this has got some high volume area. CCRT, CompuCredit Holdings, and we take a look at this. This is actually, folks, down 28%. So it's down 28% on volume. And let's go take a look at this equity, because this had a sign of strength out here. So this is setting up a consolidation area. That sign of strength was this thing gapping up on August the 16th. Moves up with 1.3 million shares out there. So if we take a look at volume on this equity, it had a nice sign of strength. But then you have to go back further left on the chart. One of the things about charting is that you got to take a look at the entire map. If you only take a look at just a small section of the map, you're going to miss the landmines that are out there. And that's really what this equity was also showing here. Because if you take a look at what it actually did and what it gapped into, it was gapping in the last time that it gapped down. On April the 12th, 2011, the stock closes at $4.94. And then what it does is kaboom, 1.6 million shares out of this thing on April 12th. Now that open gap out there, the top of the bottom of the gap is going to be the April 11th day. That's at 650. And what this equity does is it gets into that range. Let's draw the candle here. Let's draw the lines across just simply so we can see this. So we're going to draw it right across here, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. That's the dark black line going across. And let's go and take a look at volume too. So I'm going to put two volume candle lines on the bottom, one in red, one in black. Well, they're both really about the same. Son of a gun. Okay, so that makes this there real easy. So we can take a look at the volume as it was coming into the area where it broke down. Okay, so now we're coming back here. Okay, so now and I've got this thing smaller. So see on the day when it actually gapped up, what it was doing, folks, it was gapping up on lighter volume. Actually gapping up on lighter volume right into the area where it broke down. And you think that those folks that owned some of those shares back then were glad to get their money back? That is what you see in a supply line out here. And so it gets back to an area where it broke down. That area where it broke down had more volume. The work to the downside not being done. Now take a look at the trading range that this thing could truly be setting up. Right now, this is suggesting that it wants to move all the way back down to the swing point low of June 25th out at $3.20. And what this has established a trading range to the upside in the $6 range. So, watch this equity. You got big volume coming out. What you'd want to do is you'd like to see this thing come back and test the June 25th area. Was that right? Actually, I'll take it back. Maybe don't even trade the stock. It did 8,887 shares were traded on June 25th. Only trade the stock if you want to be in something that is illiquid. I mean, it has had some big volume days out there, but this thing won't let you out when you need to get out of this thing. Anyways, that is on. That was on. The symbol is CCRT. It's blown off of my screen out there. Let's take a look at. So let's see what's popping largest to the upside here. Percentage-wise, you've got DST Systems Inc. Let's go see what DST Systems Inc. does. DST is the ticker symbol. And we get back from this final break here, folks. We'll go see what DST does out here. It looks like they provide information processing and software services. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to tfnn.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to tfnn.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Time is the great equalizer of all mankind. Time doesn't care about winners or losers, who succeeds or fails. Time only cares that you played the game. Question, are you playing the money game? Is your money working as hard for you as you are for it? I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter service, and we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. In year 1, we generated a 30% profit. Plus, I provided 26 hours of live coaching to my clients. My daily newsletter service is available by 8 a.m. each day and covers the stock, futures, currency, and commodity markets, along with all the current patterns that you can trade. Each newsletter is packed with education, and it's yours for as little as $3 per day. And for the next 30 days, you can try it risk-free. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of tfnn.com and begin your journey to great wealth today. If you're waiting for a better tomorrow, remember this. Today's tomorrow will soon be yesterday, and your clock is ticking. Mastering Probability. Now is your time.
Catch Kate Stalter on the Small Cap Roundup, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Up next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go to Michael in Alexandria, Virginia. Michael, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for asking. You wanted to take a look at Francesca's Holdings?
Yes.
Ticker symbol, folks, is FRAN. Tell me what you're doing and how I can help you out.
Well, it's a good company, had a good earning, but I think the CEO said he was not, he was going to resign, so kind of got sold off by high volume.
Okay.
Right now, it looks like it's holding up, and I was going to ask you if you think it's a good time to buy it.
So it's interesting. So now this equity here is an IPO, recent IPO, has been on and off the IBD 50 stock list here. The IPO was on July 22nd, folks. The low was $22.46, the high at $28. It's trading at $30 right now. And what you have to be careful of is the institutional selling that's in there. And yes, I know that just simply by being able to get on the IBD 50, you've got to have nice earnings growth, nice revenue growth. I don't know the whole story behind it. To me, the story is in the stock chart, and you picked up on it, Michael, very well, that you had that high sell-off with volume on September 5th, 9.6 million shares. It's not the first time in this equity that there's been institutional selling. This thing had institutional selling on May 11th when it had a down move with 5.7 million shares. And, right now it is those folks, the folks that came in on that position that really have held it in place right now. In fact, if you take a look at that first time where you had institutional selling, the high of that was 28.05, 5.7 million shares. When you take a look at where this thing got down to on September 7th, it got down to a low of 27.80. So that is what, right now is holding it in place, but there's not any conviction behind the move up. And I suspect that this thing wants to trade a little bit lower. I would let this thing perhaps make an A to B equals CD down. It hasn't done that. Maybe if this and the A to B equals CD down, let's just try to take a look at where that might take you down to. Well, I would look for this thing to trade a bit lower before I would step in here. If you're going to try to step in on this, do it at the low of September 7th at 27.80. And make sure that it comes back there and it tests that level on less than 689,000 shares. And where I'm going back against on that one is I'm going back against the August 2nd swing point, which would be much more difficult for this equity to do, is to come down with that type of lighter volume. And then what you have to be real careful is your upside potential is really going to be the top of that downdraft from September 5th. So your upside potential that I see on this equity right now is only $33.68. So make sure the right reward to risk is in place before you step in front of this equity, or wait for a sign of strength, which this has not shown yet.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for calling. I appreciate that.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You bet. So far, folks, as we just kind of take a look at the markets out here, the Dow is up 14 points. The S&P just really not moving here this morning. The composite up $1.80. The Russell's off $2. Just really, the traders here waiting to see what the Fed is going to do out here. We've got a number of patterns that are or have completed that suggest at least a pullback, at least a spike down, perhaps for a couple of days. You've got the yen. It wants to trade a little bit lower. That means against the U.S. dollar. The yen wants to get a little bit stronger, 76.89. Looks like that is the target. You've got the DAX pulling back this morning, actually forming a little bearish engulfing candle. That is going to be closed at 11:30, so 30 minutes from now. And just be cautious out there. Expect a wild ride, and make sure your ticket is stamped. Thanks for joining me, folks. Kate Stalter up next for the Small Cap Roundup. Then Basil Chapman from 12 to 1 today. Daryl Martin 1 to 2. David White 2 to 3. Ken Shreve, the warm-up band for the Tom O'Brien Show, folks. I'll be back with you from 4 to 6. Have a great morning. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye now.